Right, Vue-Native lies under progressive web apps. They usually run on JavaScript. So Vue-Native is in the same category with React Native. Okay, with React Native. And then it's also in the same category with NativeScript. So all you have to do, and NativeScript runs on Vue-Native. So all you have to do is make sure that you So all you have to do is make sure that you subscribe so that we go through all these. Now NativeScript runs on Angular and Vue.js. For us, we'll do Vue.js with NativeScript. I will also do React Native, pure React, because I'm already going to do Vue-Native with Expo, and then we are going to do Vue-Native. So all I have to do is click on Vue-Native, and then I proceed with everything. Now, Vue-Native is very simple, as you've seen, and we're going to use it to create an app. I think I'm going to call this app Baby Me. Okay, we shall see what it will be doing. Now, there is a model that I'm going to be following while teaching you. So please stay in touch and then be patient, follow everything that we're going to be doing. All right, so we're going to click on Get Started. So we go to the installation. Now we're going to be using Expo. We're not going to be using pure React. Now, you're supposed to follow these instructions. And the first thing you're going to do is install the Vue-Native CLI globally. I already did that, but all you have to do is get it. So you can come to your W folder. You can, for example, one of the things you should do is use PowerShell, because if you try to use Bash, in most cases you may receive certain errors while trying to create the Vue-Native projects or even React Native projects. So it's better you press Shift, right click, and then you open the shell editor here, and then you paste. Or you can even do that in Visual Code. So I'll press enter. Okay, I already have Vue-Native CLI, but let's do it for lesson purposes. And I'll pause until that is resolved. Okay, so I already have the package. That's why this didn't take long. So next, they are instructing us to go. Now for Expo users, this is where we lie. I don't want to go into React because I believe you haven't had any experience with React Native, but Vue-Native lies on React Native. However, Vue is simpler than React. Now, most of the things that come from React, that's why I need to have the React Native documentation here. Okay, so we're going to be following some of the documentation items here of React Native, but just as flat lists and navigations, but the rest are okay. So what we're going to do after creating the CLI, now you're going to create the project. So what you do, you get Vue init. Now the reason, and then you give it your project name. So it's the same thing I'm going to do here. So Vue init, then space, I'm going to call my project Baby Me. Now it's better you keep it in small letters. Reason why, in React Native, I've always had issues when I use camel casing. Camel casing is when you do maybe the first letter, capital B, for the project name. But when you're doing it in the code, it's okay. But while creating the project name, I think it's better you create it with small letters. So Baby Me. But however, the icon, when someone installs the icon, inside there you can change the name and whatsoever. So I'll press enter, and then it installs the Vue-Native project for me. And then it's going to be using Expo. Okay, so Expo, for Expo users, that is what we do. And next we're going to change to the project or CD, and then we start with npm start, or we can even run it with iOS or Android. Now, since I'm using Windows, I won't be running iOS, I will be running Android. But let's do that. However, if you're going to do pure React, you've been to React and you want to get to Vue, the installation process is also here. You must install the React Native CLI, and then you install without Expo. Now, there are certain good things. For example, when I'm doing React, I don't usually use Expo, but Expo is very good because it has certain components that are good for a person who doesn't want to go deep into changing certain dependencies. However, there are certain cases where now React Native has made updates and Expo has not yet made updates. So that's why I do React Native when I go to my pure React Native without Expo when I go to my React Native environment. All right, so it's installing and we shall come back when the installation is done. All right, now that it is done and it has installed all the required dependencies, let's see how to run it. So the first thing you're going to do, I'm running Android, the latest version, Android Studio 4.1. Okay, so you're going to launch your Android Studio. Okay, so we're going to see which AVD manager you need now. First of all, you need to make sure that you have all your Android dependencies working well for you to be able to run Android Studio the other side. So the same thing with Vue, because it's running on Android. Okay, so all your Android dependencies, the NDKs and whatsoever, need to be in the right positions. All right, so let's launch Android and then we'll see how to go about with. The next steps are easy, far easy. Now, in most cases, when someone is installing Vue-Native and you're getting issues, it's better you first install the React Native CLI, because Vue-Native runs on the base of React Native. So it's better you come to React Native. Okay, you can choose in the documentations and then you choose how to start. Okay, then you come here to the environment setup. Okay, and then you install the React Native CLI. So you follow this. Now it goes with the Expo. One tab is for Expo, the other tab is for React Native. So with the Expo, Expo is easy. That's the setup for you. But I want you to first go and set up the React Native CLI. So you follow some of the things that you require to install. For example, the dependencies. For example, you choose to install this JDK8 with Choco install. And then you go and install Android Studio. Then make sure that you have the right SDKs, put in the right platforms or the right variables in your environment variable platforms. And then you start creating a new application. If you create an application and this one runs very well, there is no doubt that Vue-Native won't run. All right, so this is my Android Studio, and all I have to do is come to the AVD manager. Now, the reason I choose in the AVD manager, I want you to choose to go, okay, you may have your other devices here, but I want you to go and create a virtual device, and you make sure that you choose Pixel 3 XL, and I'm going to tell you the reason why. Now, let me run the first AVD Nexus. Now, AVD 28, 29 and 30 will be good for your Android project. So let me first run Pixel 3a, and then you see the difference of what I'm talking about with the AVD manager, why I want you to be using Pixel 3. Okay. All right, so you can see this is the first AVD. So I'm going to run the second AVD, and then you see the difference of the things I'm talking about, so that you can get to know which emulator is works well where. All right, so this AVD, this one is not has no Google icon, so which means this AVD has no Google icon, so which means most of the Google most of the Google application dependencies I think do not come with it. But however, it is running on an Android 11. Okay, so that's what I installed, and it has an API of 30. So now it will probably run with the recent devices. So these are some of the applications I've tried to develop, but this one is a pure React Native application. However, you can see the reason why I'm interested in this device is because of this camera screen here. So I don't want anything to be exceeding that part of the tab. But however, with this, okay, when I develop with this, everything is are likely self-automated, so the chances of detecting, okay, the status buys, okay, that you probably items will go through to the other side, as we're going to see. Okay, so I'll have to close up this, okay, and then I clear the application here. So I'll come here and clear the application so that I start another application with Vue-Native. So all I have to do now, everything is clear, so I'm hiding it in this section, no worries. And then I'm going to go to, okay, I'm supposed to cd into that project. So the project is called baby me. Okay, I press enter, so I'm now in the baby me directory, as you can see here. But I can also go, so I can also go to the other side, okay, in the baby me project, because it's already recreated and I create it in my Windows. So I'm going to look for baby me, and then here is our whole project. Now remember, we are running everything with the app.json here, right? So I'm going to right click and then choose git bash, okay, then press code so that I open Visual Studio into our fresh project. All right, so Visual Studio is launching, and then we're going to run our project for the first time. So the first thing I'm going to do, okay, here we're given a directive that we're going to run the app. So all we have to do is run npm start. You can also do expo start. So we're going to run npm start. Okay, so npm start, and it's going to start expo for us. All right, so it is indicating to us that expo is going to be running at localhost 9002. So it's starting the Metro bundler. Now the Metro bundler is like your virtual server for JavaScript. All right, so expo is going to be running at localhost. Okay, so I've already run expo, so before, so it's localhost 19002. Okay, so there we have expo, and this side I will have the device. All right, so I'm going to run the Android device. So let's see what will come on with our Android Studio. Okay, so it's starting the API, and it has detected that we are using the Pixel AVD. And the other thing it's doing, it is installing Expo. Okay, it is installing Expo, and then after installing Expo, it will be able to install our application here. So our application is going to be running under Expo, and then Expo will be controlling everything on the device. All right, so since we're starting the application for the first time, it may take some little bit of time, and I'm going to pause until the icon shows up. Now, if it doesn't show up, then it means there is something that you didn't do well. That's why I talked about you coming and install React Native first, and then you come back and install Vue. Otherwise, everything should be running smoothly, but remember, Vue-Native is running on top of React Native. So instead of us learning two languages, I can say with my knowledge with Vue-Native, and then I run everything. So I can also do, instead of npm start with expo, I can do npm run Android or npm run iOS. Now I'm on Windows, I cannot run iOS. So I'll be using Android or expo start to control everything of mine. Okay, so let's come this side. And there you are, the application is starting. Okay, so something is wrong. Let's double check this side with our expo. Right, expo is not running. So it's saying the network timed out. All right, this time around it's building now. I had to refresh. I think it hadn't built. So you can see down here, it is loading our application into expo as it's counting here. All right, I just needed to refresh the JavaScript had not built into the Expo application. Right, so it's finished building, and this is our Vue-Native application. All right, let's understand this Vue-Native. I'll first go again to the documentation to our first next step, and they are saying, okay, let me skip this. That's for React Native users. And then this is for only Expo users, and then they are saying that we go to application. Okay, this is we go to app.json in the root of our project. Okay, and then at this point we have successfully set up Vue-Native with our React Native. So now these are some of the samples, okay, that are displayed here at the beginning of the page, but I've never run most of them. But now we're going to create our first Vue file, and this is the first Vue file. So the first Vue file says it's supposed to say my Vue-Native app. All right, and this is what we are seeing here. So we're going to go into app.js, okay, or app.vue. So if you are running React Native, you're likely to receive app.js, but since we are running Vue, we are having app.vue. Okay, so our project in React Native will have app.js. I have a React Native project here. There's no issue, we can run it. So this is running app.vue, while a project in React Native, I have one here, will be running app.js. See that? All right, these are JavaScript files. Okay, but app.js will be running under index.js. So index.js will be the initiate, but this is the entry point. Whenever index.js starts, it goes through this entry point. All right, so let me go to app.vue, and then we'll look for everything. All right, so now there are very many snippets. Okay, you can click on any like this, and then you read through what the snippet does. Okay, so the snippet could be you could be running these small commands, and then everything goes for you. So I just wanted to hint on that. Okay, let me see which snippet we want. So you can see this is a snippet where, in case you want to type, you type Vue in it, and everything will be installed for you. Okay, and then the snippets come with the documentation. For example, import from Vue. Okay, it brings in that React. All right, let me go ahead and we go to what brought us here, so that I do not bore you for the next whole 1 hour talking of nonsense. Now we have app.vue, okay, and this is our app. So I'm just going to change this to welcome to PugiCode. Welcome to PugiCode, comprehensive Vue-Native tutorial. And I save. Let's see if our change has been made. You see the changes there automatically. All right, so we have issues here that I'm going to rectify. How? Let me first get the whole of this and then put it out. I'm going to explain this, but no worries. And then I save. All right, there's nothing there. I save. So look at this. We have our all our content running up here. All right, so before you talk of anything concerning Vue, or even anything concerning the logic of Vue, the first thing I think most tutors should talk about is the flex, or how to handle the flex in your styling. Now, let me do this, and then we try and see this again. All right, so let me save this and then come back and run this second AVD here, and then we'll see what we'll get. All right, so I'll have to come to my Vue-Native. Now, you do not, with the JavaScript or progressive web apps, you don't just cancel anyhow, just like that. Okay, you have to come here, okay, and then you press Ctrl+C. Now this is where we shall be seeing our debug. Okay, so I'm going to press Ctrl+C. All right, so I'm going to run again. Okay, so it's stopping the Metro bundler until I see this. Okay, I can't not do anything. So I'm going to run again, okay, until I see my link. So I cannot do anything. And then if I stop this, Expo stops automatically, and you can see there is a warning for Expo here. Okay, so I'm going to run npm start again so that it starts Expo. So we're going to see how about with this AVD. What do we have? Okay, and that's the intention of this, so that you see the reason why I choose the other AVD. All right, I hope this AVD is setting up well, because I'm seeing a white screen. All right, so let me refresh my Metro bundler. Now it can take time to set up this AVD because I haven't used it before. Okay, finally the device has started, and Expo is warning me because the device wasn't starting, but you can see it has already detected that this is a Pixel 3a API, and it's going to run the device. Okay, so it's starting Expo and installing them. It has already run the bundler, but installing JavaScript is the next step. So you can see it's running down here. It's installing JavaScript bundles for Expo. All right, so we have the same code that I've done. Now, since I'm running Expo for the first time, it's taking me through these steps on how to debug with Expo, how to refresh. Okay, so Expo will always be down here. Okay, on how to refresh. All right, so let's go and do the same thing, and we'll remove this whole content, and then we save, and then come here and double check and see. All right, so you can see that it's gone up here beyond the status bar. All right, so with this one, at least it's good. It's within the status bar, but the other one, remember the camera icon is here. All right, so let me pause the video, start the other camera of mine, and then see how we go along with it so that everything is okay. And I'm also going to explain the few requirements that Vue needs. Very simple requirements. All right, so let's go to the next step. Let me pause the video and restart the other AVD that I want to test with. We have app.vue as our entry point for anything that is going to be working in Vue, and then we have app.json. Okay, so app.json, you can see that we have it's like the summary of our application. So we have could be the naming metadata. So for example, we have the icon that is always flashing on the flash screen. We have the splash screen image, the icon for our application that will be showing onto onto the different apps on the Android Studio, the application name. Okay, and then we're going to, when we go to package.json, that's where we have most of our dependencies. For example, we're using Expo, we are using React, React DOM, React Native, React Native Web. So most of the dependencies that I'm going to be installing, we shall find them here. All right, so we have our node modules, we have our assets here. We have, for example, the icons that, for example, the load icon that was being used. I usually replace these. And then some of the images will go to our assets, but I hope to get the images elsewhere. All right, so first things first, I've already explained app.json for app.vue for us here.